net will begin in approximately 10 minutes. KC9UDX net control here. And at this point, I'll welcome all the early comers on YouTube. I don't know if we have anybody right now, but maybe you're watching this in rewind. So thank you for stopping by. We'll get underway in about 10 minutes here. evening. This is KC9UDX. My name is Matt, and I welcome you to the 2 a.m. net. The purpose of this net is to promote the use of amplitude modulation and also to establish this part of this band as a place for AM activity in this area. Everyone is invited to listen. Licensed amateurs who can do so legally are encouraged to check in. We listen in the AM mode and transmit in the AM mode where possible. If you cannot transmit in AM, we encourage you to listen in AM and transmit in FM. If you are transmitting in FM, please adjust your transmit frequency a couple kCs above or below from our receive frequency. This facilitates the use of slope detection, that is, demodulating your FM signal with our AM receivers. When checking in, please announce your call sign in standard phonetics. Again, this is KC9UDX. My name is Matt, and I will now begin accepting check-ins. Any stations wishing to check in, please come now.
Good evening, Matt, W9JCC. Good evening, K9FI, Jerry.
Well, we got two for a start. We have our most loyal check-in, Frank, W9JCC, and Jerry, K9FI. Welcome back, Jerry. Do we have any more? Come now, please.
Whiskey Bravo 9, Bravo, Whiskey Papa.
And there's Dave, WB9BWP, a little earlier than usual, which is a good thing here. Anybody else? Hearing none, I will welcome you guys to the net. And it doesn't seem like I was sitting down here all that long ago. I've been working so much that's all I can think about here is work, and time is going by very quickly. So it seems like just yesterday we were on the air here last month. I did get the YouTube stream working again. That was a stupid mistake on my part. If ever you disassemble a computer, to remove an extraneous hard drive, always make sure that you plug back in everything you unplugged when you put it back together. I apparently forgot to plug the remaining hard drive back in. I had to take the cabling out to the one I didn't need, and well, there you have it. So that's working again. Got a few other things to talk about here, but we'll go to the top of the list. Frank, W9JCC from KC9UDX.
Okay, good evening, Matt, and good evening to Jerry and Dave. Good to hear everybody tonight. And yeah, you got to plug everything back in there, Matt, and yeah, sometimes that happens. But it sounds like you got everything back in shape. Not too much to report. I did have an interesting DX contact yesterday. I was talking to somebody on, I think it was on 20 meters, and I was kind of bragging that I had not worked anybody in Japan for probably over a year or two, and I just never hear those guys. And he was telling me that, he works them all the time. So after I signed with him, I was tuning down the band, and first I turned the antenna toward Japan just for grins, and son of a gun, there was a JA and got the top of every one of his friends. So the band is open once in a while, but I guess I don't get down here right often. So turn back the net control and see where that takes us. KC9UDX, W9JCC.
All right, thank you, Frank. And I'll tell you what, that's one thing I think about the most with this hobby in the short 9 years here that I've been involved. The airwaves are full of surprises. Just when you think you're not going to do something on the air, there it happens. Just when you think you're not going to hear somebody, there they are. I think my best example of that is just, my brain is kind of cloudy here because I'm not fully awake. But I had a rig here that I had just put together, and I think it was the same time in the sunspot cycle here where there's absolutely no activity on 10 meters, and I think I just was tuning the thing up and listening here, and heard a bunch of guys in Texas just all of a sudden come wandering in, and had a lot of fun with that. I think I actually have video on YouTube about that, maybe not. Anyway, like I said, my brain is a little foggy here. I don't get a whole lot of sleep anymore. I think I had about 3 hours today. I thought I know I had received a couple of QSL cards in the mail here, and I was going to show them off, but I apparently forgot to put them in my pile of QSL cards, so I can't do that, and I can't even tell you what they were. They've probably been sitting at the Bureau for years, and the Bureau finally got tired of holding them for me and sent them here. I haven't been on HF. I couldn't even tell you how long. Anyway, we'll go next to Jerry, K9FI, and Jerry, I'm going to razz you a little bit here. I see that your license plate, the paint is coming off. I got behind your car for about a minute or maybe less on my way to work last week or the week before, I'm not even sure. And I thought to myself, hey, is that Jerry K9FI up there? And I couldn't quite make out the license plate. It looked like the paint is coming off the letters, but Jerry, go ahead, K9FI from DC 9UDX.
Oh, okay, Matt. K9FI. Good evening to the other little guys at like AM. Nice to hear you, Stephen and Jack and Frank. I didn't think my license plate was that bad, because I know it's got a little bit, but nothing that would obscure the call sign at all. And maybe it would have, if it was on a Taurus, a silver Taurus or goldish colored Taurus with an antenna on the rear trunk on the left-hand corner, that would have been me, or else I would have been in the black truck, which we only had out last Sunday when we were on the FM Sprint contest. And we debated when we were going to go on that, if we should take the car or not. But as it got along and snow got deeper, and my wife showed off a little bit in the driveway, we took the truck, and I was very glad we did, because when we were sitting there making contact, I could see the snow piling up on my hood and the sides of the windows and everything else. So I'm surprised anybody even heard me, because I was just using a tri-band vertical on a magnetic base, and another one for 6 meters, and that's all I could do. But what's good, we had fun with it, and then also 220. I was doing that because I always enjoy that band. And we only worked, first I started on EN53, then we went down to EN52 and stayed there for a little bit, and then came back up to EN53 and stayed there, because after that the time elements in the particular bands weren't long enough to do anything. Well, that's enough for this go around, but I'll turn it back to you there, Matt. K9FI.
All right, thank you, Jerry. And I'll tell you what, I sure miss being able to operate in the FM Simplex contest. It just always falls on a bad weekend for me. I'm not sure how much gear I have that I could actually use in that anymore. I'd have to take inventory here and see what still works and what's usable. And your license plate may not be that bad. It may be my eyes, the fact that it's nighttime, and the fact that I guess I see this on a lot of other license plates. I haven't noticed it on any of mine, but a lot of people have license plates where the paint and whatever the retroreflectivity that they put on their license plates is coming off, and they just don't work that well at night anymore. And maybe that's happening to yours. Maybe not. Maybe it's just my eyes too. I don't even know. But I'll say the reason that I never get on the FM Simplex contest, first of all, I'm always working, and second of all, that weekend usually is the weekend we celebrate my daughter's birthday. My daughter turned 10 today. I guess I've got a small story about that, but I'll keep that for later here. Next we have Dave, WB9BWP from KC9UDX.
Okay. Good evening, folk. Yeah, I checked out the YouTube channel there, Matt. Good to see it's working. And I happen to have it on group, I guess quiet. It's hard to say. As I was checking in, and the delay is still there. I had checked in. I finished my call sign, and then I heard it coming across on YouTube. So. Oh, and in fact, there's some other noise coming through. Okay, there, I got that switch. I'm careful what the computer does in the background. So, anyway, yeah, that appeared to be working, and hey, almost like moonbound, thinking you can hear your own signal. Yeah, I did the contest. I was surprised that Jerry and Dick and 9EEE both were out braving the snow. And Dave WXN went and did his usual, as a club station 39RH does it from the top of UWM's residence hall where 513 repeater is. He can hear everybody from up there. In fact, one year, before he started doing it as a club station, he actually won like all the categories. I wasn't paying real close attention at club meetings. They were reading off, who won, and they were handing out certificates. And I heard his call sign, and I looked up. I was like, "What? He doesn't get on the air? Wow, I must have missed that." Anyway, yeah, let's see. I did not have a real 6-meter antenna, since all of my stuff is, except for the VHF stick here and VHF horizontal loop. So I know that SWR was way out of whack on 6 meters because my layer is not properly all put together out there. And but I still made a couple of contacts, so at least I was able to do that. Last year I got a Kenwood F6 HT, which has 220 in it, and I have a discone in the garage, which generally is used on the scanner. So for the contest, I use the HT into the discone on 220, and at least I can make a couple of contacts, and I can say, hey, I finally hit all the bands I was able to last year with real antennas, and then this year too. And on the fusion part of the contest, I don't know if Jerry got home, if he was listening or not. W9LOL, who lives down in Cudahy, St. Francis area, he experimented with sending a picture, and that worked out well. So we at least get a little something, I'll say new, with each contest. And nobody's played with pictures on that stuff pretty much since the beginning, really. It was a little bit of experimenting when that whole thing started with the fusion repeater, but I haven't seen anybody do it for some time. Anyway, there's a bunch of babbling there. So, I'm going to send it back to Ned. This is WB9BWP.
All right, thank you, Dave. I have yet to play around with anything digital, so I can't relate to that. I know that we toyed with the idea of sending pictures over simplex frequencies like this in analog some years ago. I don't remember if we ever had any success. I could probably actually do that right now if I really cared to, but I don't. I wouldn't want to disrupt the net to send an image. And of course we've got the YouTube thing, so if I need to show you guys anything, I can do it that way. Speaking of YouTube, I think the latency is as low as I've ever seen it. I measured it earlier at about 2 seconds. And I could be wrong, but I don't remember ever seeing it that low. And I'll tell you, I can really relate to the computer making noises when you don't want it to. I just finally eradicated Windows from a computer in my music studio. That was one of the things that I really, really detested about Windows in that environment. Windows, it doesn't seem to matter how you set the sound settings. Every once in a blue moon, or whenever it feels like it wants to send out some really obnoxious sound effect, which is not something you want, I guess, when you're on the air like this, or especially in there in the recording studio. But I eradicated Windows and do not have that problem anymore. I haven't had an opportunity to do any serious testing with Linux setup that I put on there, so it's possible I may have to put Windows back on there, but I sure hope not. Everything else I've been doing with that computer has been working very well, and I expect the video work that I have to do, that I haven't really tried, should work too. And we're at the bottom of the list. Let's see if we have any more check-ins for the 2 a.m. net. Come now, please. Hearing none. First, I'll report here your guys' signal this month. Frank, you're 10 as usual. If the needle can be broken, you would break the needle. Jerry, you're about a 6.5. And I'm not sure if I've explained this, but I don't have an S meter. I've got a 0 to 10 gauge, so you're like 65% here, which is good. And Dave, you're exactly the same, 6.5. Jerry, you're a little bit quieter than the other guys, but not in a problematic way at all. Perfectly understandable, good copy. About a month ago, I managed to take the family up to Wisconsin Dells for a weekend. We had a lot of fun there. I guess it seems like a year ago already, but it was just less than a month ago. Never went there in the winter before, and actually I haven't gone there in any way in well over 20 years, probably close to 25 years. We stayed at the Wilderness Resort and had a very good time. That was a pretty good thing to do in the winter. Unfortunately for us, everybody in Illinois thought the same thing. The place was very, very busy. Not in a terrible way, but it was very, very busy and a lot more than I had anticipated. Apparently there were at least two conventions of some sort going on, and it was all people from Illinois going to these conventions, and they had the place completely flooded. It did snow quite a bit while we were there, and it was very I can't find the word here, but it was very nice to see that they don't salt the roads there. I think they did put down salt in a few isolated places, which is kind of what they used to do here. But there was sand in some places, and the rest of it everybody just dealt with, and it wasn't a problem for anybody. So that I found that really nice too. And I guess I'll relate what happened today with my daughter's birthday. I planned this a couple of days ago. Actually, I planned it a lot longer, but scheduled it a couple of days ago. I've never done this before. I ordered a meal from Chili's, which is just up the street from here. I ordered that via this DoorDash system, which I've never used before. I got their app on my phone, and I went through a bunch of rigmarole setting that up, and I did order a meal for us, and I cannot complain about DoorDash. They did everything I anticipated very well, but I'm very disappointed in Chili's. Everybody else's food, but mine was correct. Mine was completely wrong. Well, not completely. I mean, I sort of got the hamburger that I ordered, but never in my life have I ordered a hamburger and ended up not getting a bun. Of course, all of the other toppings on it were wrong too, but enough of my complaining about that. I'll just say that the DoorDash thing was kind of a hassle to get it set up, but other than that, it wasn't bad. I don't know that I'll ever do it again. I don't really have a reason to be ordering food and eating at home. If I need to do that for some reason, I could always go pick it up, I guess. But DoorDash does work. It works the way it should, I guess. I think I should also say here I'm not being paid by DoorDash in any way. I'm not trying to endorse them. With that, I'll just check one more time if we have any more check-ins. If anybody wants to check in, come now, please. And again, hearing none, we'll go back to the top of the list. Frank, W9JCC from KC9UDX.
Okay, thank you, Matt. This is W9JCC. And first of all, happy birthday there to your daughter. And you mentioned openings on 10 meters, and made mention it several times now on the 10-meter net on Friday nights. We've had openings to the East Coast where we've had half a dozen or so stations check in, and typically from Pennsylvania and parts around there, a little bit east of there sometimes. But it does happen from time to time. And I did participate in the simplex contest over the weekend. I made one contact. I happened to have the Westside Repeater Club simplex frequency on, and I talked to W9RH from the top of UWM, I guess, down there. But I didn't even know my grid score, so he had to help me out on that. Signal reports tonight, Matt, the usual 40 over 9. Jerry, you're hitting 5 and 9 here on the TS2000, and Dave, you're 5 and 7, and good copy all the way around, no problem at all. As far as digital modes, I have used PSK and Slow Scan TV. Had it on for a few years and then decided to take it off. I wasn't using it, and the interface box was just adding more wires to the clutter here, so I took it out, and mainly because I got a new computer down here, and I would have had to redo the cables, so that thing is gone now. Wisconsin Dells, my daughter took my wife and I along with a trip with the grandkids up there. It must have been 5-7 years ago, and we went to one of the water parks and ended up going down some of those slides, and in fact, I think all of them. And not as young as I used to be. It was kind of scary, actually, on some of those, but kids seem to love it. Okay, the DoorDash app. I have not heard of that one, but that brings up a good point I wanted to mention to Jerry. I put an app on my phone just a couple of days ago called Life 360, and what it does is it follows a phone wherever you have it. So I was thinking of when Sherry goes on her walks there, Jerry. If she has her phone with her, and you both have the app on your phone, you can follow her around and see exactly where she is. Yeah, I must have let up on the mic. Anyway, it's probably out here long enough. So back to net control, WNIJCC.
All right, thank you, Frank. And I am not familiar with that app, but I have done that with Google Maps. I think, well, unless you have an iPhone, you pretty much have Google Maps whether you like it or not on Android phones. And you can share your location real time on there. I have used that a couple of times over the years, and it does work. It works pretty well. You can see exactly where somebody is all the time right there on the map. Well, I know you can use Google Maps on iPhones too. I have an iPhone at work, and I think that's installed on there. All of the Google apps will work on iPhones. Google is very good at that. They obviously don't want to lose any market share by not working on iPhones. So I was going to comment on something else here, and you said you didn't want to bring a new computer into the shack. I completely understand that. When I set up this space here, I basically said I don't ever want to have a big PC in here, and unfortunately now I do have one under the desk doing the YouTube thing, and it's not too intrusive just because that's what it's doing. There's no monitor. There is a keyboard and mouse somewhere down there if I need them, but otherwise I don't have direct access to that computer. I use it by VNC over a phone. And of course I do have the Commodore 64 in here, but that's not very intrusive. And actually the space was dedicated to that slightly before I set up the station here. So before I get too carried away, I see Dale is on YouTube. So I suppose we'll be hearing from Dale when I get to ask for check-ins here. Hopefully signal conditions are good to where we get Dale on here. But next, let's go to Jerry K9FI from KC9UBX.
Okay, guys. Everybody has good signals, and of course, Frank is the strongest. And Dave, I know you guys all educated me on how to use this TS2000 and all those little buttons that I can't hardly read. But there's one button that I always remember, and it says PRE on it, and it makes a big difference. I love the radio, I have to say. I love it because it does everything. And one of these years, maybe this summer I'll drag it out and I'll try to put some satellites with it. But anyhow, you, Matt, give your daughter a big happy birthday hug. They go up quick, as you can see. And last weekend on the FF Simplex contest, I was using my TS, the ICOM 7100, and we were doing all the 10, 2, and 70 centimeters on it, and then I was going to do 6 on it. Well, I had all the frequencies lined up on it that I wanted to work, and I forgot to key it up. Every time on the 6-meter frequencies, it would always go to a duplex shift. So then I couldn't do that. So that blew that one. So I never got on it. And then for me to do, I could not figure out how to do D-star, because that's what the 7100 does, simplex either. And I'm still trying to figure that out, because every time I went into DR mode, it would come up with a repeater frequency. And so we never did that either. And of course I do have a fusion radio, but I know even less about that. But we did have fun, and like I say, today I was watching a YouTube program on a computer, and the guy talked about doing D-star HF, and it was quite simple. Get on the frequency you want, and just put it into GR mode and go. You know? So I wonder if that's the same thing you do on DHF, UHF. We want to do simplex. Anyhow, then let's see what else have I got. See, so I can remember, guys. I have to write down notes, otherwise I go into brain fade after the second one. And also, I'm reading about Echolink. I still think that's a neat idea because I don't need a radio to do that necessarily. But we're learning about that. And I'm just curious, Matt. Oh, I know what I was going to say. To Dave, is the club meeting going to be at HRO or is it someplace else? And also, next Tuesday is CQ3 Tuesday, and we're going to be at the pizza parlor or whatever it is over at 164 there. And the other thing is, Matt, as you talk about recording studio, I'm just curious what kind of music do you record and what instruments do you play? Now that could be a whole evening discussion too, I know. But anyhow, I'll turn it back to you, the man, K9FI.
All right, thank you, Jerry. And I too have to write everything down here, so I'll start at the top. You mentioned D-Star, and the only thing I can say about that, I have no experience with it, but there was an interesting article in QST this month about setting up a D-Star repeater using a Raspberry Pi, and the only reason I noticed that is I have several Raspberry Pis around here, and I always seem to be finding more uses for them. I thought that was pretty interesting use for one. Not that I have any ideas about investing in any D-Star stuff at this point. I can't get on the air as it is. And Echolink, I have put that to great use in the past. I have the Echolink app on my phone. Now here's where this went south for me, is every time I get a new phone every couple of years, I have trouble getting that Echolink, because you have to register. I have trouble getting that registered on the new phone, and that's my fault for not keeping track of how I do that. But what that is good for is you can get on, I forget which local repeater has Echolink here, but you can get on the repeater during a net, or I suppose any time you wanted to call somebody on the repeater when you're nowhere near a radio, or you're not even in town. I have checked into nets here locally when I've been out of town, and I guess that's been a long time here too. Now, as far as music, you asked what kind of music, and I guess I would say almost none, just because there's something else I don't really have time for, and I guess it would be difficult for me to describe what kind of music. I don't even know where to begin with that. Now, if I hadn't been working so much here and my brain is a little clearer, maybe I could do a better job with that. But right now, unfortunately, I just can't describe that very well. And I had lessons in piano as a child. I was actually very good with piano, but I kind of let that go to waste. I can still sort of play piano, but I also play organs, keyboard instruments of all type, including accordions, guitar zithers, and again, I could make a more concise list here if I could think clearly, but and again, like you said, I could go on and on about that. If you check out my YouTube channel, KC9UDX, there is a playlist on there. I think it's called My Music, and it's certainly not all inclusive of what I would do, and it's probably a very small sampling of what I do, but it's everything I've been able to put on YouTube in the short time here I've been on YouTube. So I guess you could check that out and see some of the things. And I could be wrong, but I think that this video, the 2 a.m. live stream video, has a link built in for that playlist. I'm not sure. I have set that up on some of my videos, and I'm not sure if this is one of them. But I'll keep going on and on here if I don't go to Dave, WB9BWP. It's your turn again from KC9UDX.
Well, that's okay. You can always keep talking that way. I don't look so bad when I just kind of babble along. Not that you were babbling, I'm the one that babbles, but anyhow. Let's see. Yeah, and I make notes too. It doesn't mean anything. I may not actually look at them and see them. Anyway, let's see. DoorDash. I've not used any of those. I know about them, and well, when I was going to back in the olden days, when I was going to school, I worked at an Italian restaurant, and I actually did everything there at one time or another. Technically, I was a dishwasher, but I also delivered. I delivered for the guy's brother who had a restaurant. And I even actually had money in the place, but that's a whole different story. I think the last time we did a delivery over here, it's been a number of years, and I want to say it was Pizza Hut. I can't say that for sure, but the guy got lost, and it was like 2 hours, and he still brought, ice cold pizza. And I'm like, we're paying for this. Come on. Well, I'm sorry, I couldn't find the place. Well, that's not my problem. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, and I had music lessons as a kid too. I dabbled with organ, and then I had official clarinet lessons for a year and a half. While I was in grade school, actually, and I had a rented instrument. It was through Milwaukee Public Schools. When I went to junior high, I wanted to take shop class. I couldn't fit in band, and so they said, okay, well, then you can't take the lessons and you can't ride the instrument anymore. And so all of that kind of came to a stop. Over the years, I make noise on various things, trying to play the music that's in my head that doesn't exist in anyone else's head. Signals tonight. At this location, Matt's got the best one. He's a good solid S9. Almost no hiss or anything. He could be next door. Frank is down just a touch from there. 5.7, 5.8. Jerry's farther down in the noise to my spot. He's probably a S3 or so. I got to lean a little closer to the speaker maybe to hear him, but that's okay. I mean, I think that's good for what we're doing here. Let's see. Oh, and I mentioned this, I think, on one of the Friday night FM nets. This is just a point of interest, I guess. A ham that lived a couple blocks from me, he passed away a couple of months ago. He was 94, I think, somewhere in there. And he didn't really have any family. He went into assisted living for probably, well, he was in the hospital for maybe a month, and then he was in assisted living for about a month. But he did one of these deals. I don't know which one or exactly what, but it was one of these. We'll buy your house. We'll take everything. We'll give you cash right now. Anyway, they did a little work on it, and it's now for sale. And I found this rather interesting. I found the price they're asking for it is way out of line. I would not pay that. But what they paid him was, wow. Because in the one website that I look at, it shows what it last sold for back in October of last year. They paid him $115,000. And they're trying to sell it for $299 or something like that, $290, $299. And I looked at the pictures, and they didn't replace kitchen cabinets. The house is 1960 vintage. They put new countertops in the kitchen. They painted, and they painted the basement walls. It's an unfinished basement. But wow, when I saw what they're asking, and when I especially saw what they gave him, so don't anybody do that unless you really, really need the money right now, kind of thing. Anyway, with that story, I'll send it back to you, Nat. This is WB9BWP.
right, thank you, Dave. And there seems to be a lot of that out there. And of course, right now, house prices are kind of at a peak again. I keep telling everybody one of these days that's going to collapse again. Hopefully not as bad as the last time, but it could even be worse, who knows. And if I could afford it, and if it actually made sense for me, which it absolutely does not, I would sell my house right now and rent an apartment until the market crashes, and then buy a bigger house and have money left over. And I guess part of the reason I can't afford to do that is because I bought this house when the market was at the absolute peak the last time, and I paid considerably more than it ended up being worth a couple months later. Of course, nobody had any way to guess that was going to happen. And I guess I've been paying for it ever since, but that's just the way that is. I'd say within the past 3 or 4 years here, it's finally starting to look like I'm actually getting somewhere with my mortgage. Prior to that, it was always looking like I'd just never pay it off, and I'm finally back on schedule to where I was back in 2002 or 2003, I think, when I bought the house. So we're at the bottom of the list. Dale is AB9DW is on YouTube. Let's go directly see if Dale can hear me on the air here. Dale, AB9DW. Are you able to check into the 2 a.m. net? AB9DW from KC9UDX.
KC9UDX, AB9DW. So, things are going well over here. Of course, news is coming in saying Buster, I don't have to have my preamp on for news. Frank is second in line in terms of signal strength. And then Jerry and Matt are about the same. Matt, I have to rely on YouTube on and off. The signal is kind of going in and out there. So, when I can't hear, I listen to YouTube thing, and when I can hear okay, I just listen to the radio. So, that DoorDash thing reminds me of an experience that we have also had with Pizza Hut delivery. This was many years ago. The gentleman delivered the pizza, and I gave him the money, and I did not notice that a $5 bill fell out of my hand and onto the floor in our foyer. And so he starts walking back to his truck. He gets almost to the truck. He turns around and he says, "Hey, you showed it me." I said, "No, I didn't. I gave you exactly the money plus the tip." He said, "No." He says, "I sure." I said, "No, I gave you the money." He said, "What, you called me a liar?" And things kind of went south from there. That's the last time we had delivered pizza. So that was definitely no good. I'm telling you. And you were talking about music and rented clarinet stuff. I had the same experience when I was in grade school. Probably a fairly early grade, maybe 4th or 5th grade or something like that. I had an opportunity. The guy talked me into playing a clarinet. And so I brought the clarinet home and the paperwork, and my mom took a look at how much it was going to cost, and she said, "Take this thing back." So I really did get the clarinet lessons. And then later on in life, probably in my 30s, I fancied myself as a potential piano player, so I started taking some lessons doing that. And then life happened, the kids started to get a little older, and they needed a lot more attention in terms of their gym and getting them around from place to place, so practicing piano didn't happen. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do that, after, I don't know, I'm not even sure when I'll be able to get to it again. Maybe after I quit my part-time job. And hey, Matt, maybe you can help me with this. The clock that you have on your console there is an hour slow. I was wondering why you're running at an hour slow. Is there a reason for that, or is it just because you didn't bother advancing it for daylight savings or whatever? So there you go. That's what I had. Matt, welcome back to you, AB9DW.
All right, thank you, Dale. I guess I I'm surprised that clock is running. I totally neglected it this month, and I must have wound it yesterday or something and forgot. And I never set it. And it's just a coincidence that the minute hand is almost right. I guess it's a minute off. I should be better with that. That's kind of important for the YouTube stream to know what time it is. I guess when I'm done transmitting here, I'll take it down and reset it and wind it back up again. Yeah, that is definitely not intentional, and that's my fault, and it's actually a big problem. Watching the YouTube video when it's not live, that clock is very, very important. And yeah, I'll try to fix that. What else was I? Oh, Dale, your signal is a 3, but it's fluctuating a lot. I doubt that that's showing up on the YouTube stream here. And actually, looking at it, I could adjust the f-stop on the camera. I don't want to do it because I'm on the camera, but I don't know why it's so wacky. Everything looks very dark to me. Maybe it's not the way it actually is. My monitor might be screwy. Shoot, speaking of time, we're running low here. I was going to comment on something Dave said, and I forgot before. Dave, you mentioned that you had played organ. And I was just going to say that if you had any ideas about getting an organ, now is the time to do it. People can't give them away. I had to give an organ to somebody who couldn't really take it about a year, I don't know, maybe it's 2 years ago now already, I have no idea. But I got a much bigger, better organ, and I had to get rid of an old one. And that's probably going to be cut up and thrown in the trash here soon. The person that has it now can't cope with it. And there's a lot of people in situations like that, and that's how I got a really nice one for free. You can get some really, really nice organs if you have the space and a way to deal with it. You can get them for next to nothing, and sometimes you get them for nothing. Now, obviously, a Hammond B3 or something is still expensive just because they're highly collectible, but everything else is ridiculously cheap. And something else, Dale, I was going to say, the part of your signal fluttering looks like it's from overhead aircraft, and the thing that I always remember from that is Kenny, KC9M, oh boy, I forgot his call sign. Well, I'll remember it here when it doesn't matter anymore, but he lived somewhere in that direction. And whenever an airplane would go over, his signal would flutter drastically, much more than yours is right now. But that's what I always think of from that. Anyway, we are very short on time here. I apologize I had not been watching the clock, and if I had, I guess I would have been wrong anyway. But we are at the bottom of the list. I will just check one last time here to see if anybody last minute wants to check in. Come now, please. Hearing none, I'll apologize for coming up to the end here without any warning. But Frank, I'll send it to you for the 7-3 round W9JCC from KC9UDX.
Okay, thank you, Matt, and good evening, Dale. You were talking about all your musical talents there. I guess I'm low on the totem list on that one. I never got past the tonette stage in the 3rd grade on playing an instrument. In fact, I don't think I even mastered that one, and I still got it here somewhere in the house. And they wouldn't let me sing when they went to the radio station either. They came around and checked, the music teacher came around with a little pitch pipe and asked me to make some sounds, and she says, you can go, but don't sing. So I did not do too well in that category. Yeah, we bought our house to Matt at a high price. We were on a one-week house hunting trip and went around with the realtor for a few days. And one night we just said, hey, we're going to ditch the realtor and just drive around. We found this one for sale. Must have just gone up for sale, and called the realtor on the sign and just bought it. So that's how that went. And yeah, Echolink can be pretty useful. I think Bill, KX9M, had a Wi-Fi hooked up to his 220 machine when he had it over at his place, and I did check into it on Echolink, and I did not have a 220 transceiver, so that worked out very well. So I will keep it short. I'll just say one thing to Jill. I keep a little flashlight, a little LED flashlight right underneath the TS2000, because if I look at those maps, you want to read some of the fine print that aren't lit up, I use the flashlight. Anyway, 73 is everybody. Good hearing everybody tonight, and back to you there, Matt. KC9UDX, W9JCC.
Thank you, Frank. I have one of those here somewhere, too. I seem to have lost it, but those little magnifier flashlights, pretty handy. Jerry, K9FI, it's your turn on the 7-3 round.
Okay, guys. Good evening to you, Dale. You got a decent signal. Everybody's copyable, and especially when I got the little free button pushed. That was Dave's idea when he mentioned it to me, so I didn't have to strain my ears. When you guys are talking about houses, well, I've been in this house a long time, over 50 years, and I bought it in 1968 before I even got married, and it was not a palace, it still isn't, but it's something that we could handle, and it's got a nice big yard, which we really like, and of course I got to cut a lot of grass and everything, but that's the way it goes. And let me see, you're talking about music. Well, when I like guitar music, I like Travis style or ragtime, and I also love ragtime on a piano. That's what I really enjoy. Scott Joplin music turns me on. I love that stuff. And I just always imagine, even on the ragtime guitar, how on earth those people were able to play those chords. So I listen to it on the internet quite a bit. And of course, you can hear anything on the internet that you want. And Dave, I worked you a couple times last weekend. I think it was on 220 and 2 meters. Your little handy talkie was doing fine. You got to remember now, I was using a mobile antenna, and I was located on Barker Road and Bluehouse, basically in that area. So that's quite a long ways from there down to Hill's Corners. And we were using, like I say, the 7100s, so we were running a pretty good power. But to hear you out with the limited power you had, that was good. And the Germantown group has a repeater on Echolink on their 70-center machine. 70-center, I can sometimes fit. 1240 machine. I know when Pancho talks about the nest on Friday, he always mentions the Echolink number on the 440 machine. And I will have, like I say, I'm kind of getting my feet wet too many things at one time, but I would like to try it. Because I like I say, I like the fact of it that I don't have to have a radio to interface with it, except hopefully on the other end. And still, maybe either Dale or Dave could mention to me where the next radio club meeting is going to be, because that's just a couple of weeks away. Other than that, guys, thank you for having this fun net, Matt, and I will be looking you up on the internet and listening to some of your music. And oh, by the way, one of my other hobbies is I got a couple of really old guitars and a banjo. Both of them are from 1920, about 1925, and they sound great. But anyhow, that's another story. So back to you, Matt, and thanks for running into that. I'm glad you guys mentioned this a couple months ago. And like I say, sometimes I'm busy, but when I'm not, I love to listen to this. This is great fun. So back to you, Matt, K9FI. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you, Jerry. And yes, it is a lot of fun being here on the net, and we will have to talk about banjos sometime in the future here. I have always been interested in banjos and always kind of wanted to get one, but I've always resisted buying a cheap one, and I cannot afford a decent one. I really believe a banjo is not something you want to go cheap on. I have played around with the cheap ones in the stores, and I do not like the way they sound. And I have played around a little bit with some really expensive ones, and I do like the way those sound. So there you have that. I was going to say something else here, but we are running out of time. although not as badly as I thought. So, Dave, take your time, WB9BWP. It's your turn on the 7-3 round from KC9UDX.
Okay. Never say to me, take your time talking. I'll figure out something to go on about. About cheap organs. I was at a Goodwill. This was probably a couple of years ago at least. And I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't too beat up, and it was $10. And I'm looking at that, and boy, it was a good thing when I was driving. There's no way I would have been able to get that home, but because I'm sure I would have had some explaining to do then. But yeah, I imagine that the real ones are almost free for the taking. And let's see, my main time sink here for the last month has been I built a new computer for the office upstairs, which then would rotate the previous office computer down here on the radios. And I got the hardware and everything, got the operating system, yes, Windows, loaded up. And I've been fighting Windows 10 because you gotta have Windows 10 on a new processor. Just today, I think I solved one issue where the program that I was using for PDF file stuff, not just reading but editing and creating and all that, I don't like giving Adobe any money, so this was another company, which worked fine on Windows 7. And, on Windows 10, every time I would try to scan, if I tried to scan through the document feeder, it would destroy the scanner drivers and force me to remove all the printer stuff and reload that. Or if I were to scan from the bed, the PDF program itself would crash. It's a paid-for program, and for what I paid for it, I got updates for 1 year. Well, that was 2 years ago. Luckily, they have a trial version, and it appears that the new version, I got it, I downloaded it, I put it on, I did the exact same stuff, and it did not screw up the scanner, so I guess I'm going to have to buy the new version. But besides that, I'm fighting networking issues. I can talk to my network boxes, no problem, but computers talking betwixt each other, that's a whole different story. 73 to everybody out there, and see what happens when there's more than 2 or 3 guys on the net. Time zooms by. Great that you do this, Matt, and it gives us all a chance to play around some more. So, with that, for Jerry, if Dale doesn't say anything, I think it's going to be Golden Corral and Waukesha if they got all the arrangements made. Dale probably knows more than I do. With that, this is WB9BWP.
All right, thank you, Dave. And I, too, have been juggling computers here over the past couple of months. And I refused to get Windows 10, and I first got Windows 7 here just about a month ago, maybe a little more. And I'll tell you what, I got it out of here as quick as I got it in. and very happy to do that. And next we have Dale, AB9DW. It's your turn on the 7-3 round for KC9UDX. Go ahead, Dale.
All right there, Matt. Sorry about that. I got interrupted for a minute. It is Golden Corral. It's on the 27th. Golden Corral in Waukesha. So there you go. And Matt, you're correct. We are about a half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile south of the landing patterns for the east-west runway at Mitchell Field. So it's possible that we've got aircraft coming over while I'm transmitting. So there you go. All right, well, I'll say 7-2 to Dave, Frank, Jerry, and Matt, and everybody have a great couple of weeks, and maybe we'll catch you back here in another couple of weeks or a month, whatever the schedule is. I think it's a month. So thanks again, everybody, and have a great one. 7-3, 89DW, back to you now.
All right, thank you, Dale. And I will say that this concludes the 2 a.m. net. Feel free to re-chew on this frequency after my transmission. We will meet again on the 10th of March. And again, I'll say thank you guys for being here. It really is a lot of fun. And time certainly does fly when there's so many of us, but it's still a lot of fun. And it keeps me getting on the air at least once a month here. So until then, this is KC9UDX 73, and good night.